Hello everyone and welcome to my review of the D-Arts WarGreymon Original Designers Edition. This is the third overall release of WarGreymon in the D-Arts line, and this particular one is a Bandai Premium Web Shop exclusive. Let's take a look and see whether or not this beastie was worth the import. So the sculpt for WarGreymon is great. No real issues to be found at all. The plastic, it's very thick, feeling is very hard. So, you can hear it. Doesn't sound like it's going to snap, unless you put forth some effort. So just be sure not to force anything on WarGreymon, and you probably won't have any breakage issues. And in terms of the actual detailing in the sculpt, as you can see here, little tube-like things on the chest, the shoulder pads look great. See the pads on the shins here. They look good. Show the back. Tubes there. Look fine. Even the detailing on the hair. And the head overall. In terms of sculpt, no issues with WarGreymon. Now, the paint. It's a bit hit and miss. As you can see, the metallic coloring on WarGreymon is great. There's no complaints. The yellows look nice. Red trims are fine. Rest of Courage on the back looks amazing. No issues there. Even the chrome paint on the claws looks fantastic. It's nice and bright. Don't know about any possible chipping issues that may come down the line, unfortunately, like my SDCC D-Arts X, Mega Man X to be exact. He has a little chip on the chrome on his helmet. But there is an issue with the paint with WarGreymon, and it seems to be an issue that's been plaguing the D-Arts line so far this year. At least in my experience. And that is this chalky look to the paint overall. And you can see it here on the arms. Bring it in. See it on the toes. The claws on the toes, I should specify. On the feet, and the skin color of WarGreymon, the paint. The quality of it doesn't look too great, and I'm not sure what the reason for this is. And to top it all off, there is another issue with the paint, and that is specifically around the gauntlets. Be careful, because that is black paint. Paint transfer, yeah. So just be careful moving around the different parts of WarGreymon and making sure. This is another issue that I'll get with more. This is another issue I'll talk about more in Articulation department. That when you're moving parts on WarGreymon, that you're not constantly rubbing them together. Intentionally or otherwise. So overall, there's no real major issues in the sculpt and paint department aside from Bandai, get your stuff together and stop this chalky paint quality to your D-Arts line, and just be wary of the paint transfer. Much like the sculpt and paint, the articulation on WarGreymon is great, no real complaints, except for one drawback that, from what I gather, plagued the first WarGreymon and to an extent the Black WarGreymon release, and that there are quite a few loose joints on this guy. So let's get into it. Head, it's a ball joint. Can't really look up. You're going to get down, left, and right. Any variation thereof. Shield on the back. On ball joints. Each part of the shield, and it's kind of loose. It's not that big of an issue because when you're moving parts, chances are you may hit the shield and you may initially think, oh no, I'm going to break it, but because it's loose, it easily moves, so there's no real issue there. Shoulder pads. These things, they're on hinges. They move up and down. As you can see, loose. Yeah, not fun. Shoulders are attached on a ball joint, When mine came, they were super, super tight. So I had to loosen them, and luckily they didn't get too super loose. So that's nice. Then also, as you can see there, they're attached on a hinge. So you can get the arm to go out like that too. Neato. The arms also have a bicep swivel to them, which is nice. Elbows on the Figuarts double hinge, as you can see. So if you have a Figuarts or something else that uses that same style of joint, you know what to expect. Hands. This is a bit of an issue. They are on ball joints. They are attached on ball joints to a swivel hinge combo, and they can be removed easily as a feature. And instead of using the big giant claw gauntlets, you can just have the fist. But be wary and be worried, because sometimes the claw will not like to stay on. And with the claw not wanting to stay on, it's going to be loose. I remember that paint transfer I showed earlier? Yeah, that doesn't help. So the main body. Here it is on double ball joints at the chest section and at the waist. So he does have some range of movement. It's nice. But unfortunately you can't get him to look up, which is a pain. So now you have these waist guards here. They are on hinges. This one likes to stay up for me. The other one, nah, not even gonna happen. The front flap, his junk guard, it stays up. Yeah, I'm 2 years old. The legs. Ball joints at the hip with a swivel there too. Basically like a Figuarts, the type 1 hip joint style. Knee is on a double hinge. Both of them. Feet, they are on hinges at the ankle, and then an actual attachment to the foot with a ball joint. Fortunately, you're not going to get too much of an ankle rocker out of it. Well, no, I proved that wrong. You actually can. I was screwing around with it earlier and I could not get it to do that. So what do you know? Alrighty, so overall for articulation on WarGreymon, good. I like the range that he has, but I think I'm going to need a whole bottle of floor polish with Future to fix this thing. It's just that loose. It's a pain, but I guess if you like WarGreymon, you love him, it's something you can look past. I know that I can for the most part. So what does WarGreymon come with? Well, a whole lot of next to nothing. Just this TerraForce effect part. That's it. And how it fits into the claws of WarGreymon is that there are these little notches on the little ball here. They slide into the claws. Kind of like so. And there you go. Raise the arms up. Yeah, it doesn't really fit too well. Very awkward to move, but anyway. Lift the arms up. And bada boom. It's getting ready to throw it. kind of disappointing that this is the only thing that he comes with, but the actual effect part itself, if it will focus in properly, is pretty well painted. I like it. I think a translucent version would be cool too. But the reason why I say it's kind of disappointing that that's all that he comes with is that you can take the gauntlets off and you can give him this fist so he can punch, but that's all that he has. So, what he comes with, it's totally understandable and acceptable, just that some more hand options would have been nice to have. So just how big is WarGreymon? Well, for a comparison, here is his buddy, WarGreymon. Pretty big, decent size. I say it's a good size in comparison. Nice to have those two on the shelf next to each other. I'd say they're in scale. But what if you don't have WarGreymon? To get an idea of size, here's the Figure Arts Green Ranger. There we go, neutral pose. And then, just for fun, the SH Monster Arts Godzilla. So as you can see, WarGreymon's about, I'd say, 5 or so inches tall. So he's pretty bulky, and he can stretch his arms out, so you can get a lot of different poses. But overall, WarGreymon is not so big that he's going to cause a major issue putting him on your shelf, which is nice. So, buy it, skip it, pick it up used for cheap. WarGreymon is neat, simple as that. Fans of the character, they'll enjoy this figure. Those that simply like the design, they pick it up, they'll be pleased. The original WarGreymon release, Black WarGreymon, and this particular version are all rare now at the time of this review. And with the Black WarGreymon and this one being web exclusive, I can only recommend that those that like this character pick it up. For this particular release, there are loose joints all throughout the figure. This one here, shoulder guards. And I had really, really near fatally tight joints for the shoulders, which you can see in the video that I have on how to loosen up joints. And paint transfers that really shouldn't happen. It all keeps this particular figure from being absolutely amazing. I like it. Personally, I think it was worth the purchase, but I got my pre-order in early for about $59. Now, some secondhand shops are selling it for a little bit less than what I paid for it, which is kind of neat, but warn that they tend to sell out within an hour or two of them being listed, so if you see one, you gotta act fast. Overall, Digimon fans should get it. Collectors liking the design, hunt for a deal. Everyone else, obviously, go ahead and pass on it. WarGreymon's great, but not super amazing. Well, that's it for this review. If you enjoyed what you watch, go ahead and click on the like icon and then click subscribe. Also, stay tuned to Import Monsters for your latest news and your action figure reviews. Until next time, collectors.